Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy.
How you doing, Brent?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Oh, not too bad.
Yeah.
Braving the weather outside.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be nice today, then cooling down the rest of the week.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Finally got to get away from the hot.
Well, no,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We knew it was coming.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, I had Paul Ramey on here. If you're pretty familiar with Paul.
Yeah, no, Paul.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about the epitaph. Mm-hmm. Back when you guys first came out. He said he was just a little kid. Well, not a little kid, but you know.
He was a couple years behind me, yeah.
Yeah. He was talking about how big of an influence Epitaph was on him, you know, getting the nerve up or whatever the case may be to start playing the heavy rock around Chillicothe.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty cool, you know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's mentioned that before that we were an influence to him and some of the other guys that were a few years behind us in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because I was mentioning to him, you guys, and remember that band White Friday?
Yes.
I thought they were pretty good.
I used to, John Townsend was the drummer back in 86, 87, and I was in the band with him, and I'd go watch it at our practice place. The guys from White Friday would show up there.
Yeah.
And pretty cool, pretty rocking to watch these guys, you know, like, you know, 10 feet away from them. These guys are cranking.
And they were a little bit older than you guys too, weren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this one I was working at Kroger's many years ago, back in the early 80s. I forget this fella's name, but he came into Kroger's and stuff because, hey, man, if you guys aren't doing anything, man, we got a band. They're in the living room. You know, we got kegs, you know, we got the works. So, yeah, well, we'll show up. A bunch of us from Kroger's went up there. There's White Friday. In the living room, for stacks of Marshalls, you know, it was just so ungodly loud.
I could see that totally. Yeah, it was pretty loud when I used to watch them.
Yeah. It was pretty neat, though, to see something like that. Mm-hmm. That's basically, I wouldn't really say a concert, you know, but it was so loud in there. And there must have been 200-300 people there.
Really?
Yeah. I can't remember the guy's name at all, but it was up on Brewer Heights.
And Brewer, okay. I went to a party up, took my half stack up and played. I don't remember when it was. I must have been 19 or something. Yeah. Brewer Heights, but yeah, I've never heard of that. Them setting up there, but interesting.
Yeah, it was different because I mean, there were cars in the yard and the whole works.
Yeah, back in the day, yeah.
Yeah.
When people just had big parties at their houses, we used to do, yeah.
So, about how many bands you think you've been a part of since you started?
Well, let's see if I can name them. Defiance in high school.
Yeah.
Out of high school, the band with John Townsend that played with White Friday. I think it was Mad Jack was the name of that band.
It's a pretty cool name.
Yeah, that's a cool name. After that, let's see, Bad Basics. Played cover tunes for about 3 years with that band, Chillicothe, doing hair metal. Mm-hmm. Epitaph was during the same time, doing thrash metal. Glass Onion from 91 to about 97, playing 60s and 70s classic rock cover tunes.
Seen you guys a few times.
Yeah, we played
everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah. It's crazy. After that, let's see, the Rubes with Bill Mason, Greg Fee. Played about 5 years with them. Toured a couple times. Interesting story. Side story though. I was telling you a minute ago that my son saw Ghost in Youngstown. The opening band was Mastodon. So when I was with the Rubes in 2002 and 2003, we played Emissions from the Monolith, big stoner doom fest that goes on for 3 days at Nyabingi in Youngstown, the club there. And in 2003, one of the days we were there, Mastodon played. So I'm like 5 feet from the stage watching these guys. I never heard of them.
Yeah.
Greg, of course, knew it. He knew him. He knows all the bands, all the things happening with all the bands. I thought that was really cool that in Youngstown. I actually saw Mastodon, and then my son saw him 20 years later in Youngstown.
That was full circle.
Yeah, full circle. Yeah, interesting. Another interesting thing too is I saw Mastodon about 2 or 3 years later. Conan O'Brien, they were on there, and I'm like, hey, that's that band I saw. Like I was 5 feet from, watching them on the stage. Really, really cool. But anyway, that's an interesting story. Let's see. After the Rubes, I moved to Dayton. Played in a couple bands there. I can't remember the name of the first band, to be honest. Yeah. Second band was Foregone Bazaar for about 3 years, played in cover tunes all over Dayton. Came back to Chillicothe, played with the Reruns for a couple years, and then
I never heard of that.
Dave Blanton.
Oh, okay.
Blanton, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Chad Queen was in it too.
Yeah.
After that, Shotgun Taxi for almost 10 years.
Was that 10 years?
Yeah, let's see. We started in 2012. Yeah, we made it to 2021. Yeah. And it took a hiatus for a couple of years, and now I'm playing in, I got the hat on here, Shady Ray. Mm-hmm. See, I don't know if you can see on the camera there.
Yeah.
It's the newest band I'm in. And just cover tunes, having a fun time, bunch of old guys.
That's what it's about anyways.
Yeah, I just enjoy playing music, having a fun time. And we don't load as much equipment, like with Shotgun Taxi, we had so much equipment. And at the end of the night, I'm like, oh my God, when am I getting home?
Makes for a long
So we
night.
run our own sound, but this band, we're hiring guys unless we have to run it, and we run a small PA like we did last night.
Yeah.
So we're too old to haul that.
It catches to you quick, the back. The back will get you in the morning.
Yeah. And I'm taking a combo amp. I don't even take the half stack anymore. It's like I can't carry that stuff.
So what kind of gear you play with now?
Well, I've got my half stack is a Black Art half stack. It sort of sounds like an old Marshall, like a JCM 800 style, that type of distortion. So you got to beef up the front end to get any thrash metal out of everything, which is what a lot of the guys did back in the day. That's one amp I have. I got a Marshall Code 50 combo amp. Mm-hmm. That's mainly what I use for my amp. It's a good amp, good sounding. It's got a bunch of presets. I never did get the pedal to switch between presets or anything. Yeah. So I just run pedals in front of it, and I got a couple of distortion pedals I like, chorus, phase shift, the normal stuff. Let's see, guitar wise, I've got my PRS SE model. That's my main guitar. I've got a Jackson. I can't remember what the model is exactly. It's like crackle finish, orange crackle. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But I got it when I was in Shotgun Taxi. I got it because I was like, hey, cool, I can use a Floyd Rose in this band. Now the band I'm playing in, I'm like, well, we're doing a couple heavier tunes, but not really, So it's just setting right now in the case. So what else am I using? I don't know. My pedals are just like I tell you, I got on this kick of buying on Amazon. You know how pedals back in the day, you're like, pick and choose what you want because it's kind of expensive. Yeah. You can go on Amazon and buy a distortion pedal or whatever, $20. Yeah. Yeah.
And it sounds good.
I know. Yeah.
It sounds damn good.
The circuits, they can't, copyright them? Is that the right word? I don't know. So a lot of these circuits are the exact same circuit as you're buying a Boss pedal or one of these high-end boutique pedals or whatever. For $20, I'm like, hey, gets the sound I want. Yeah. That's about it. Equipment wise, it's just a couple guitars I did buy another guitar on a whim. So I was on Amazon, and they had what's the Fender? I can't remember the series. The guitar's only $120, and it's an actual Fender. It's a Squire. It's a Squire.
Your Squires sound good, dude.
Yeah, it's a nice playing guitar for $120. Man, you can't really. The only thing I did on it was I took the instead of having 3 single coils, I took the 1 single coil out and got a blade style humbucker that fits in the slot. Yeah.
Now, does that type of pickup give it like a different type twang or?
Well, it leans more towards humbucker. It's not full on humbucker, but you can put heavier distortion on it and not have it feeding back and squealing. And yeah.
That's not a bad thing if you play metal, I guess.
No, I guess not. Yeah, but I left the other 2 single coils if I want that sound, And my PRS has the toggle, the volume toggles, so you can get single coil tapping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about those guitars that have there's a battery plug in the backside and makes your pickups hot?
The active pickups.
Yes.
I've never ever tried them, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's people that swear by them.
Yeah.
I've just the passive's all I've ever used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's probably with everybody who diddles around a little bit.
Yeah. I know in Epitaph, Dave Quillen's bass had active, and you have to worry about, hey, when was the last time I changed the battery out? You're in the middle of a song, and all of a sudden your bass dies or your guitar dies, or whatever that has active pickups in it. So I don't know. I've never really. It might not be that bad. I don't know, because I've never used them, so I don't know how they drain the battery or whatever. But another thing I have too is wireless. So back in the '90s, I bought a Nady. It was a lower line, because I want a wireless to be able to walk around. I'll get off stage and stuff. I bought it, tried it at 1 gig, and there's so much latency. 1 second you hit a note. Second later, it comes out of the amp. So this isn't going to work. But nowadays, I had a $100 and some wireless that I bought a few years ago, and when I started in Shady Ray, I took it to a gig and it was making a bunch of noise, and now I can't get it to work. So I went on Amazon again, $35, bought one, works great. Yeah, I'm like, why did I spend $100 some on it?
It's funny because it's almost about like a Spinal Tap moment. Mm-hmm. You have radio.
yeah. Just
pick up airplanes.
It's like that. But yeah, the equipment you can get cheaper stuff that's still well made. Now's a great time for guitarists. If you want to be a guitarist, or start a guitar, you can get lower price guitars that play just. I mean, they're not the pristine couple $1,000s there, but they play fine. And I gig with my PRS was, I think, $550 or $600, something like that. It plays just fine for me. Yeah. And I've had higher end guitars, Gibsons and stuff, and this thing plays every bit as good as those.
Really? Mm-hmm. Because I remember when you had that Explorer.
Yeah, it had an actual Gibson Explorer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And an SG standard, had that at one point.
How do those play? Those SGs, they're a light guitar, aren't they?
Yeah, a little neck heavy sometimes. The Explorer was too.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it until after it was stolen.
Yeah.
And I had to get another guitar. I realized when I had a guitar that actually weighed, and just sat there, didn't realize how neck heavy. I was holding the neck up the whole time I'm playing. So.
Because I know one thing.
Just used to it.
Yeah. Because I know I got that Epiphone Explorer. That's a heavy guitar. I mean, just straight out, the body's heavy.
Also, it kind of offsets the neck heaviness in where it might dip.
Yeah. That's possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if body's heavy enough, I guess it would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Spinal Tap, I know you've gigged a lot of stuff. Do you ever have any Spinal Tap moments? Like when you were out playing and stuff?
We've had train wrecks on stage. where one particular one with Glass Onion back in the 90s, we were playing Stardust, and I think we were playing ZZ Top. I think it was ZZ Top. Anyway, one by one, we all lost our place, and the only person, Eldon, was still in the band, Eldon Smalley, and he's the only one back there playing drums, and like, what are you guys doing? And we're all just stopped because all of us just lost it. But you have those moments, of course. That's probably the worst one. I don't think I've had any train wrecks that bad since then. Sometimes you lose your place and you need to jump back in and go on.
It's pretty easy to get back in, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're playing ZZ Top.
Most of the time it's easy to get back. You just stop and jump back in again, Yeah. You only look like an idiot for
a brief second.
10 seconds or so.
So that's really about it, huh?
Spinal. What's funny is we just about a month or two ago, I've never seen Spinal Tap all the way through. I know.
Dude, that came out in the 80s.
Yeah. I see bits and pieces, and the gag about this one goes to 11, never seen it all the way through, and oh my gosh. It's my wife calling me at the worst time. I told her I was doing this too. I probably should text her and say, hey, podcasting. Where was I? Oh, yeah. This one goes to 11. I saw some clips here and there of it. Finally watched the entire thing with my son, and it's pretty funny, pretty hilarious movie.
No, is he does he play any instruments or anything like that?
No. He and my youngest daughter, they're 20 and 21. My oldest daughter, of course, from my previous marriage, is 37. Yeah. Got 3 grandkids.
They're the best.
Yeah. Grandkids are always the best. No, they're awesome.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh yeah. No, he doesn't play an instrument. Never really latched onto it.
Yeah.
My youngest daughter never did. As a matter of fact, my oldest daughter never did really either. But the 2 young ones, they did sing in choir up until the pandemic. Then that all went away. They both graduated, and that was it. Yeah,
hell with it.
Yeah. So I liked going and watching the choir. It was interesting, fun. They did a great job. But yeah, once the pandemic hit and everybody's wearing masks, and they just called it quits on the choir until the pandemic had gone along far enough to where they could start doing it again. By that time, Maddie graduated, and Lynn had graduated. So,
because you mentioned these amps go to 11. Marshall actually released amps that went to 11.
They just just put the extra number on there and had it so that it goes to it. Yeah, it's not really traversing any farther.
It was funny because how he said, why don't you just make 10 louder?
Right? Yeah.
Which I can see that,
Oh,
good old days though, weren't they? Back in the 80s and stuff, listen to that type of music, like Metallica. You think you think that's probably about one of your biggest influences?
Yeah, Metallica was a big influence. When I first time I heard Metallica ever was when I went out to practice out at John Townsend's place out on Stone Road. When I walked in, Disposable Heroes was playing, and I'm listening. I'm going, "What is that?" I'd never heard something that heavy. I was like, holy crap. So I went out and got the album, of course. Then I got Ride the Lightning, Kill 'Em All. And of course, when Injustice for All came out, I was in Epitaph, and Greg, our drummer, Greg Fee, he bought a copy, and we all listened to it, I tell you, they were a big influence when it came to the thrash metal stuff. Influences before that for me would be, guitar-wise, would be Van Halen, of course.
Yeah.
Angus and Malcolm Young. Let's see, KK Downing and Glenn Tipton from Priest. Hatfield, I'd say Hatfield would definitely, when it comes to the fast picking and the rhythm stuff, him and Scott Ian from Anthrax.
Yeah.
Pretty big influence on my playing.
They're crazy good.
Yeah.
Crazy good.
Yeah. It took me a while to get that thrash metal fast picking stuff down.
That's hard.
And you got to keep it up, because if you're not playing that style of music and you come back, I can still do it, but I have no stamina. When it comes to sustaining that whole song, I can't. There's no way I could make my way through.
It hits your wrist.
Yeah.
Your elbows. Your back. Your tries and stuff. It just.
There's no way. Yeah, there's no way I could make it through like Master of Puppets or a Slayer tune for that matter. With all that.
It was funny.
Fast rapid picking.
It's funny because me and Mike Parsons, we just got. I think it was Rain and Blood. Mm-hmm. We were trying to, get all that down. I said, well, let's go over Brent's. You said, well, let me listen to it. I still think you listened to that song beforehand and figured out a good bit of it before we came over or something like that.
Probably did.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
And can you show us how to play Angel of Death? You just went. I was like, he learned that before.
Yeah. There's no way I could have just listened to it one time and brought it over and go, okay, I got it. No, I sat down with that one, I'm sure, at some point, and a lot of the Anthrax tunes and Metallica.
Yeah.
Tried to figure them out.
I think that was probably about the time, like the tail end of the Epitaph days, possibly, or maybe around that time.
Epitaph lasted to about maybe 90.
90.
I think. Yeah, something like that. A couple years.
Yeah. Did you like Slayer a lot back in or back in the 80s?
Yeah, Rain and Blood's an awesome album. Yeah.
I mean, I've actually heard a lot of people say it's almost a hardcore like a sounds like gives it that New York hardcore type sound to it. It's like wow.
I've just always thought of it as thrash. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that hardcore stuff coming out of New York and stuff back then, going through the '90s and stuff, it was about like that. Mm-hmm. You know, I think they gained a lot of influence from the thrash metal bands.
So hardcore, you mean like a punk offshoot?
Yeah.
I know.
Just like a
thrash is sort of an offshoot of punk because it's just tighter.
Yeah. Well, I think what it is, they took like a punk attitude with that thrash metal type speed, distortion, everything.
Yeah.
I think that's where they got a lot of that influence from. Like Agnostic Front, they got heavier as the years went on, you know, but they were a hardcore type band, about like Hatebreed. You know?
Okay. I'm not familiar with Hatebreed. There's a lot of bands I'm not in these scenes that I kind of get stuck on a couple bands, and then years later I'm like, why didn't I listen to some of these other guys? Pretty bad about that.
It is what it is.
Or keeping up on any the newer metal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That and the only reason I latched on to Ghost, and a lot of people don't consider Ghost metal, but I think they have metal moments.
Yeah.
And they cover a lot of genres, but it was because my son played some of the music for me, because I saw him in concert. And then next thing you know, I'm going back to their older albums, and I'm like, wow, this is really good stuff.
I know their song construction is really good.
Mm-hmm.
They have like should I say, the ABBA feel with.
Yeah.
Then they just threw like their hard rock influence into it. That's what I hear.
The vocal melodies are, he's really good at crafting them.
Yes.
Tobias Forge. And still make it sound sort of evil. At the same time, you listen to Opus Eponymous, the first album. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that one, to me, it sounds like Black Sabbath meets Blue Oyster Cult or something, with some really cool riffs, but really good vocal melodies over everything. And it's a solid album. It's my favorite one by them. The next one is like a hodgepodge of a bunch of different 70s influences. Yeah, just progressive, but still metal, still hard rock. Yeah, it's just yeah.
Because I know their stage presence and stuff, they have this evil type of way about them, but then they come out and what I mean?
Yeah. The newest album, the Impera, it's like they progressed from 70s rock, hard rock, cult sounding stuff through the 70s progressive up into the 80s metal. Mm-hmm. So I think Impera sounds like it could have come out during the hair metal period and been a hit album.
Really?
To me, it's what saying. Yeah, the songs are catchy. It sounds like pop metal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They are catchy as hell. Mm-hmm. I mean, his vocals are really clean.
Yes.
The way he sings and stuff.
I didn't realize how much. I don't listen to the radio hard at all, and just put whatever on in the car for my phone, But at work, one of my coworkers brought a radio, and we started listening to 99.7 to Blitz. I actually heard Ghost on there like 3-4 days in a row. I'm like, well, I didn't realize they're getting that much airplay. I didn't. Stuff. We used to show me prequel album. There was I heard Rats off a prequel album. Call Me Little Sunshine off the Impera.
I actually like that song. It's a pretty good.
Yeah,
song.
Hunter's Moon from the from the movie, from the Halloween movie. But I was like, hey, Ghosts on radio, cool. They're not that underground, not anymore anyway.
It's funny because my wife, she listens to XM radio and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "You ever heard this band called Volbeat?" No, I ain't never heard of them.
How recent was that?
Oh my God, that's been
years. Okay.
Yeah, it's been quite a few years ago.
I didn't hear them. It was probably about 5 years when I first heard them.
Yeah, it's like
years ago.
All right, I'll listen to them, and it's like, well, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's like she turned me on to this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Volbeat. They're pretty cool.
Yeah. They're you got that European type poppy rock.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad. I mean, people out there who's never really heard of them, which they probably have now, given the time that they've been out. But
oh yeah.
But they're not bad. I like their first 3 records. That's really about it.
Yeah. I'll have to listen to some more. I've listened to a little bit of them, but not a lot. But what I've heard, I like.
Now, like in your when you're playing with your new band, Shady Ray.
Mm-hmm. Shady Ray, come out and see us. Just go to our Facebook page, and all our gigs are on there. We got January's booked. I don't want to have really anything in December because there's too many holidays. So November, December. Yeah. Got a couple more gigs, and then we're done for the year.
So, what's your set like when you guys play your music? What you guys?
You want me to read you some of the songs here?
Sure.
Yeah, because our drummer sends out the set list, and here's the set list for this weekend. So we're playing. Let's see, we got some '80s pop, A675-309, Hurts So Good. We got Rock and Roll Fantasy by Bad Company. What I Like About You, Dumas Walker. We're kind of
You're all over the place.
yeah. You really got me. We kind of do a hodgepodge of because I sing that one,
Yeah.
so I can't get the licks in like Van Halen licks in there because I'm singing over top of it. Anyway, Already Gone, Eagles, American Band. Let's see, Give Me Three Steps, drop back to some Skinner, and some AC/DC, Dirty Deeds, and Train by Blackfoot. So we're, it's mostly 70s rock, some 80s pop in there.
The one that really sticks out is Dumas Walker.
Yeah, Dumas Walker, and it goes over. It really does. Let's see whatever else is here, kind of weird here. Green Country Mountains. I never heard it before. It's oh gosh,
Sounds almost about like an Outlaws type.
yeah. It's it might be McGuffey Lane. If I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I can't remember. It's one of those bands from that era.
See, what a lot of people don't know. You said McGuffey Lane. That's Columbus band.
Yeah.
They were good.
Yeah.
I mean, they were back in the 70s, like about mid or whatever, when they released that one record. Because I think you had they had live tunes mixed all in with it. It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. One has like them on the cover and has
Like a bluish background.
no, it's
I don't know.
like tan.
Oh, tan.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's got a cardinal on it. The Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our state bird,
No, state.
the cardinal.
That sounds like a pretty interesting set list you got there. Then I mean,
That was just the first set. Yeah, it's a hodgepodge like on the other two sets too, where there's an occasional weird one thrown in there.
Yeah.
But mostly 70s, 80s rock and
something to bob your head to.
yeah. It's all stuff, all stuff that most people are familiar with. So we've been having pretty good crowds when we're playing, and the people stick around because they like what we're playing. So
Yeah.
and yeah, it's a fun time, good time. Everybody, enjoy everybody coming out and watching us old guys on stage because we don't move around a lot.
You don't have to.
No,
You don't have to.
no.
It's, this was back in the 80s. I go over at Bill's house, which was basically a yard in between you guys.
Yeah, a couple yards. Well, our yard and then the person behind us,
Yeah.
and then you were on Bill Street. Yeah.
And they'll go, hey, let's go over at Brent's. It's all right. Be down the basement or whatever. You're a priest. You'd be playing right along with it.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I can get this. I can get this. I
Yeah.
like it.
Now, Judas Priest, I know your Iron Maiden's your favorite.
Yeah.
Judas Priest was my favorite in high school
Yeah.
until I got into the thrash metal scene. I was like, oh, Metallica and Anthrax and Slayer and all those guys. But yeah, they were my band. I saw Priest, 84 Defenders of the Faith tour. I have my ticket stub still. I actually framed the album and put the ticket stub in there with it because I've been meaning to do that for a while. So keep them on. I got a bunch of cool ticket stubs too, but I haven't seen as many concerts. There's a lot of, like, you've probably seen a ton of concerts, haven't you?
Been here and there.
Yeah. I literally haven't seen an actual big concert since the 90s. I think it was Polaris Amphitheater.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was like Steely Dan or something.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good concert to go see.
It was fun, yeah. Sound was kind of strange though. It did reeling into ears, and I couldn't hear the guitar very well. Where I was sitting in the lawn seats. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. All I heard was piano and vocals.
Yeah. So I actually got to see Priest. I think it was maybe a year and a half ago. That Andrew James down in Cincinnati at Queens Reich opening up for him.
Okay.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. It's because they have their cross. It's like laying down, and they were playing. They had like the house music or whatever for them. And it was coming up, then it was just neat as hell, man. Because it came up, boom, them lights are so bright. People in the front row must have been baking, because they're so bright and everything. It was really good. I was happy I got to see Priest. There's one other band I want to see just to mark it off. I want to see Saxon.
Okay. Didn't they just put a new album?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's one band I have to see because I've seen Motorhead, Maiden, Priest. I want to see the England bands like that.
Okay.
Lavish.
Yeah. The last metal concert that I've seen was it was 80s. Yeah.
That's been a long time.
Yeah, a long time. I need to get out. My son just went to see Avatar recently, so
I like them.
Yeah.
They're not bad.
Yeah, he's placed them in the set list when we're set list playlist in the car, and I'm like, these guys are pretty cool. Some cool riffs and pretty cool vocals.
Yeah. Yeah, he can scream a little bit.
Sure can.
Were you ever really, like when you were singing, get really high, hit the real high vocals?
Back in my 20s, yeah. Now, no. Yeah. No, I literally try to do. If I try to do, what's a good example? Green Man Leashy from Priest at the end where Halford goes really high.
Yeah.
It is way up there. I used to be able to do that. I get about a quarter of the way down. Yeah, I can't even start to. My vocal cords just like, nope, not going there. It's not happening.
There's nothing like him getting shredded.
Yeah, just not happening.
Because I tell you what, it's probably pretty easy to shred your vocals trying to hit those real high notes.
Yeah,
But
if it's at the top of your range, yeah, definitely you could shred your vocals pretty quick.
yeah, I like to do the guests and stuff. I like to throw out some records, see what you think, or if it's something new. Because last week I actually got Dave Shoemaker on a couple of them. He said, I ain't never heard of them.
Oh, there's plenty I haven't heard of, believe me. Yeah.
I mean, I tried to pick stuff out that was closer to our taste back then, so to speak. You're like, oh, okay, I remember that one, maybe. It's like,
Yeah. Okay.
there you go. Blue Cheer.
But yeah, definitely heard of Blue Cheer.
Yeah.
This is I don't know if I've ever listened to this other than I've heard what's on here.
It's got Summertime Blues on it.
Summertime Blues, yeah. That's what I've heard. A lot of people consider that one of the first heavy tunes, or
I would say so. I think it's one of the heavier songs of that time. But
as heavy as you could get with Fuzz, I guess. Yeah, it wasn't really. It's weird because I got in a conversation with somebody online the other day about what makes something heavy, and to me it's the distortion. Like you can have the hard rock sound, which is less distortion, like, and then Fuzz it can be heavy, but it still doesn't have the crunch, the tightness, So, but yeah, still very heavy.
I mean,
Blue Cheer, yeah.
What
For
I
the time period.
Yeah, what I think about what heavy is everything. The guitars, the bass, the drums, the vocals. And I think, like say, that song, of course, a lot of people don't realize it. It's a remake.
Yeah.
I mean, just the drums themselves. Not a lot. There wasn't hardly any bands back then, around 67, 68, when they were doing that with that, with the bass. I mean, unless you want to throw Cream in there. I mean, Cream has some heavy stuff.
I mean, yeah, was it the live album? They're rocking on that. Yeah, their version of Crossroads.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool version.
It's a heavy song, man.
Heavy.
Even the song itself, because it just has that feel.
Yeah.
I don't consider the real heavy stuff. I mean, I could listen to ABBA and you're like, oh. I can see where a band stole, not really stole, but, got influence from them.
Yeah.
I mean, just if you ever listen to ABBA, listen to the drums and listen to the bass. It's everywhere.
I have to make it a point to listen to the drums and bass on ABBA.
I mean,
I mean, I love ABBA. Good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, just the whole song construction. Then I hear people, they shouldn't have been in the Hall of Fame. Well, why not? Dude,
they were huge in the 70s.
Dude, they were gigantic.
Yeah.
And they sold millions and millions of records.
Yeah.
Which I don't consider that much of anything. Just because someone sells a lot of records doesn't mean they're appealable. You know what I mean? to me. But
I mean, like, how many copies of Disco Duck are out there, But the song itself is like, what? Really?
It's funny because we used to have it on 45 back then.
Yeah, I'm sure I probably had it, yeah. Novelty song, but yeah, it's now, would I listen to it? No.
I probably would just out
for
of
fun.
out of pure like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that was fun back then.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah, Metal Church. Is this the dark
No, this is their first one.
first one?
Yeah.
Okay, the dark's the one I'm familiar.
Yeah.
What's on this one?
Got Beyond the Black, Metal Church, Gods of Wrath, In the Blood.
I have to admit, I've probably never listened to this album. It's weird because I'll latch onto an album by an artist, and some albums I just never get to.
Just oblivious, like,
Yeah.
okay, whatever. I know what you mean by the dark because I had to start the fire.
Start the Fire, and there was another one too that was, I can't remember the name of it. Yeah,
Watch Your Children Pray or something like that.
that's a good one.
Yeah. And it had a ton of bricks on it.
Ton of Bricks. That's it. That's the one I was trying to think of.
I got you on this one. I think.
Yeah. I've honestly, I don't think I've listened to this, or if I have listened to it, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty heavy.
Is it?
I mean, the drums are like, dum, dum, dum. I like what you mentioned
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
With these guys, you can almost hear, resemblance to them whatsoever. But, it's pretty good.
Well, I will check it out.
Good record.
There's a lot of stuff that like I said, I'll latch onto one album and then I don't listen to the other stuff by the artist. I'm really bad about that.
It's pretty good. I got this here. Did not realize this dude lived around the Bourneville area. It's on eBay. This is original press. I gave like $25 for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I found in that thrift store down there by the two gas stations that are the same gas stations, the one right there just outside of Bainbridge.
Yeah.
Thrift store. I found Voivod Nothing Face cassette for 50 cents. Yeah, it was just randomly laying in a bunch. There was some other music around it, but there's mostly tools and stuff. And I'm like, hey, Voivod, and it's like in mint condition. 50 cents, all right. So I don't have a cassette player at the moment, because I haven't listened to cassettes for a couple decades. But I bought it because I'm like, hey, yeah, it's Voivod.
I mean, you can't beat that.
Right.
There we go.
No, that one I've definitely listened to. Yeah. Crew's first album,
Yeah. I think it's their best one.
You like it best?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Of course, Shout the Devil, they had the production. They had it.
I think Shout Devil's my favorite, but this one's a close second because the songs are really good.
Yeah.
Really well written songs.
Yeah.
Catchy stuff. Yeah, really good.
I mean, I don't know if you've heard or not, but I've heard Nikki Sixx really didn't play bass on this in the same way with Shout the Devil.
I had heard some stuff about his bass playing where he couldn't play for a while or something.
Still can't.
He tried out for somebody, and they were like, bless his heart. Like it was a bigger name, but I can't remember who it was. They're like, yeah, come out in a couple of years or something like that. But
you do your thing.
So he still can't. He is playing stuff live, right? I mean, they're still touring, right?
I guess. I mean, I went and seen him and stuff, during the Carnival of Sins tour. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. It had a good feel, the show itself. Mm-hmm. It's a good time,
I'm not sure about Vince Neil's vocals anymore.
They were horrible back end.
I mean, you can tell on this album even. Shout the Devil's better, like I said, production wise. They probably helped him get his vocals where he needed. But in this one, you can tell he's struggling on a few of the higher notes.
Yeah. Well, he was young,
and they were down to a step.
Oh, they were.
Mm-hmm. They're playing out a D.
Didn't Hetty do that, or was that a half a step down?
Van Halen was a half step down. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking to myself, I want to tune that new Les Paul to half a step, whatever Van Halen, because it's a good tone. I think it's a good tone.
Yeah.
But
the brown sound, Van Halen. Yeah.
You think that's a good sound? Yeah. It worked for him, on the first few albums.
Yeah. Yeah, he just he had that variac on the to set the power going into the tubes, into the amp. Mm-hmm. And he found a certain range where he could change the it was the voltage, I guess, or amperage. I can't remember. Anyway, he found, I guess, it's a voltage variac. A certain range where it sounded. Basically, you crank the amp, you turn this thing down, and it kind of brings your volume down, but it still gives you that sound. I think that's how it worked. But that's how he got that killer sound on the first album.
Yeah.
You know, where it sounds
And
like
it's a heavy sound.
oh, it's heavy. It sounds like especially like on the end of Eruption, like it's gonna you're in the stratosphere, man. Which is reminds me of Hendrix at Woodstock.
Yeah.
He's playing Star Spangled Banner, but when he stops dead, man, it's quiet. I'm like, how's he do that? Because he's got so much stuff going on there, and these amps are cranked to the max, you know, and he's still. But when he's playing, it sounds like whew, it's going to go at any minute. Yeah,
I've been to a few shows like that.
yeah.
But you know, it's back in the '80s. You know, of course, they had the big monitors and stuff hanging from the ceiling, this and that. And that was golly loud.
'70s and '80s, everything was big and loud.
Yeah, because that's how it was when I was seeing Iron Maiden back in '87. First concert I ever went to, a band called Wasted
Oh yeah.
opened up for him. Basically, an offshoot of UFO.
Okay. Yeah.
And dude, they were so loud. My ears were ringing before Maiden even came out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because I think it was Paul Chapman was Wasted's guitar player. He did this guitar solo. He had a Warlock, BC Rich Warlock.
Yeah.
Just like doing that solo. I was like, oh my God, it was so stinking loud, you know. That's, you know.
Yeah. I know. I think the loudest concert I went to was the Horde Fest at Polaris, and I was down maybe 10 rows back, and Black Crows came on, and it was just painfully loud. Yeah, I was like, why does it need to be that loud?
It doesn't have to be.
No.
Because my daughter, her first concert was Motorhead. I took her to it. You know, I was like, you can't get any bigger than this.
Yeah.
At Newport. And the volume was perfect in there for that venue. Because, you know, as you know, Motorhead, everything's all up to 11.
Yeah.
On everything, you know.
Yeah.
But it wasn't this mind-numbing volume to where you couldn't think or even know where in the hell you was at, which is good, you know. But, you know, you see a couple fights down and, you know, people ain't stupid, you know.
Yeah.
Drinking beer, you're like, oh, you know, and kick your ass. You've seen that probably 100 times at your shows anyways.
Not recently, but yeah, back in the Glass Onion days, there was a few times there was fights on the dance floor. Yeah. Yeah.
Alcohol's a mother, eh?
Yeah.
Here's one I know you know, really.
That's one of my favorite Priest albums. And can you still get Hellbent for Leather? Is it called Killing Machine now? Because when I look on Amazon, I'm like, I want to buy the album, and they all say Killing Machine, which I know is the UK version, right?
Yeah.
Also, let me see the track listing on this, because I thought I was losing my mind. No, I guess that is the track listing. Wait a minute. It is changed. If you look at the track listing on the new one, I don't know. I'm got to look at it again. Now I'm questioning myself. Anyway, I love this album. Yeah, I played the crap out of this on cassette back in the day. Very, very cool album. Especially the 1, 2, 3 punch of. This side's great too, but right over here, Burning Up, Green Man Alicia, and Killing Machine back to back. Bam, and then Running Wild's good too. Oh, the whole album's good. It's all Yeah, definitely I was influenced by these two guys on guitar, definitely. And I still think Halford's, he still got it, man. Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
Because we went and seen him, man. It's like, oh my God, he can still hit them
He
high notes.
he still hits it.
Yep. And they sound just as good. I mean, they got Andy Sneed as their other guitar player. You have Andy Sneed and Richie Faulkner?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they sound great live.
Cool.
Of course, they're going to keep it how it should sound too, you know. Of course, that Andy Sneed, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He played in a band called Sabbath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. All right.
Oh, it's all good. I get it.
Okay, Andy Sneed, you said playing Sabbath?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with him.
No. Well, I know I've heard of them, yeah.
Yeah.
But for music-wise, I haven't listened. Oh, my gosh.
But
I should
yeah,
just turn the volume down on that or something. Yeah.
But yeah, he feels
Technology.
yeah he filled in pretty good for what the hell's his name?
Tipton?
Yeah, Greg filled in for Tipton, and every once in a while, I guess when they're like closer to home, they'll bring Glenn Tipton out,
Yeah.
and stuff. I mean, he still plays, you know, does the leads and stuff.
Yeah.
Just a couple songs, but like I say, he can't do the whole show or anything like that anymore.
No.
But he's pretty. That's a hell of a tandem. They did pretty good.
Yeah.
Not bad. Mm-hmm. This one here may throw you up a little bit. The first Talking Heads album.
We're playing a version of a Talking Heads song that they Take Me to the River. Yeah. Is it on there?
No. This one here's got Psycho Killer.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm like I said, I'm bad about.
It's all good.
Yeah. The radio airplay stuff, and then I don't delve any more into it. So
yeah, I thought I hit you with a little bit of 70s punk rock, so to speak. Laid back. You know how he sings?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a pretty laid back guy.
Well, when they Take Me to the River that I'm playing in Shady Ray, I honestly had never heard that, even the original version of it. So, but it's fun song to play.
Yeah,
we kind of do our own version of their version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Put a little bit of a noodle in it.
Well, maybe not that, but I do kind of heavy up when we do Born to Be Wild.
Yeah,
the lead on there. Sometimes I'll throw in some two-handed tapping or something. Yeah. Make it. Oh my gosh.
And here you go.
Well, yeah, definitely know this album. And you got the blue one. I got the same one. Yeah, Walmart exclusive. Yeah.
I mean, people give Walmart all kinds of BS about that.
I like this. I love that they do colored vinyl now.
And the thing is, these here sound really good.
Yeah, it does.
There's nothing wrong with the Walmart vinyl, but they're just putting a sticker on it. That's all they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's from their.
Oh, I didn't know it was a limited edition. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. It's pretty blue too.
Yeah. I've got that one in the brick red Master of Puppets.
Yes. And
the green and Justice for. Yep, that's it. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I like them. Mm-hmm. I think it was.
Back in the day, they didn't have a lot of. I got. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What were you going to say?
No, you're fine.
I got Sweet Talking Woman by ELO on 45. It was purple vinyl.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't have it anymore, or maybe my brother has. I have no idea. I have to ask him about that because I think he may have retrieved some of the records from. They were at my sister's house, and when she moved, he may have retrieved some of those. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was really cool.
Yeah, because I think it was Parsons had gotten Kill 'Em All on cassette. Mm-hmm. He goes, Dave, you gotta listen to this. I went down there and listened to it. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I ain't heard nothing like that before.
Right.
I mean, I'd listen to Venom before that. Because Grandma and Grandpa, they had this little satellite dish and stuff. And I'd watch videos from Canada, that music station called Much Music.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
And they had like a power hour. And first time, the heaviest thing I ever heard, well, during that time, a song called Witching Hour. Live version, the Venom playing. Mm-hmm. Oh, what the hell's this? No, that's kick ass.
Yeah. That's always fun. The first time you hear something like that, you're like, whoa, and blown away. Yeah, just like I said, Disposable Heroes. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's. I always love that beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that easy to play? Figuratively.
No, it's a little more difficult to play. I did see them do a live version on YouTube, maybe in Germany, before they released Master of Puppets, I think, and they nailed it. But they've been, when you're doing that stuff day and day, that's all you're doing is playing fast stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're gonna have the stamina to go through the entire song, and your arm's not gonna fall off. But yeah, that's a tough one because he goes from down picking really fast into the it's a particular what's the word I'm looking for? Gallop. That's it.
Yeah.
Particular gallop he's doing on, not just a straight diggy thing.
And it's tight.
That's correct. Lingo for that. diggy.
And the way he did it was so tight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his guitar sound on that album, just the wall of thick, just crunch, palm muting, man. I think that's one of the difference between them and Slayer's thrash, but they don't do a lot of palm muting like Hatfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that song, what's the third song? Or no? Yeah, third song. One of Master Puppets. The Thing That Should Not Be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a crunch heavy. Man. That's badass. Yeah.
If you had to pick this record or Master, what would you pick?
Master. Yeah, there's some on here that I hate to say it, but I kind of skip over. Let me look at this tracks again. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Escape. I like Trapped Under Ice. Creepy Death is obviously is good. Call of Cthulhu I don't listen to very much either. Hate to say it, but Fade to Black I don't really listen to that much. It's a good song, but I'm that way with a lot of albums. You know, I'll have like particular tracks in them, then I'll skip one and go to yeah. Not that they're bad. It's just not. It's just I'm like, I like this song. It's okay.
But like I think Master of Puppets is where it all really came together. And all those songs, you really can't skip.
Yeah, it's a solid album all the way through.
Yeah. Because I know me and Paul, we were talking about Injustice for All. Yeah, it's good. Like, it sounds weird to me. The whole record sounds weird.
Well, the bass is missing, of course. And I'm sure Paul might have mentioned that.
Yeah. You know, Paul, he's all about that.
Yeah. And
he's a phenomenal bass player.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't know, it just the sound of it, it sounds weird to me. I listen to it every once in a while, but I can't get through it.
Well, you still got the Wall of Hatfield sound going on, but then Lars did the whole clicky thing, and he lucked out. A lot of drummers were like, "Hey, that's cool," and they jumped on the bandwagon with the whole clicky double bass, sound.
Yeah.
He didn't have so much luck with Saint Anger, where he tried. What is that snare going on that, man?
It was funny because they were talking about they wanted to have a garage sound. That doesn't sound like a garage drum.
No. It sounds like a toy drum or something you buy, in the kids section at Walmart. It just ruins the whole album for me. The songs are pretty good, but the whole album's just like, oh man, it is. That's all I can hear is that snare.
I mean, it is a really good album, written album. Mm-hmm. But I can't. A lot of people cannot get away from that sound.
Well, there's a YouTube video, some guys who actually played the entire album, and they got some guy that sounds like Hatfield, and they fixed it. Yeah, I can't remember. I watched it a long time ago. Well, that does sound better. That snare back where it should be.
I mean, you got to put that dum 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 in that. So that tang tang tang.
Yeah, ting 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 tang. It's just man.
It's not that.
That's not metal.
Not even. Here's what I'm going to probably throw you off a little bit.
Okay.
Celtic Frost.
Okay, definitely heard of him, and I had a T-shirt I found for like $3. I'm like, hey, Celtic Frost, cool, but I honestly I don't know if I've ever listened to him.
Swedish death metal.
You think I would listen to Swedish? So as much as I am into Ghost, although Ghost is not. This is death metal, yeah. Ghost isn't that for sure.
But yeah, it's a little funky looking.
Yeah.
There you go. You can't get much metal in that and leather and hair. Hair.
That's it. That's metal.
But yeah, this here album, it was funny because I had this on cassette back when it came out and stuff.
When did this come out?
Around 84-ish.
Really?
Maybe 85. What does it tell you on this? This is
death metal. So death metal's.
Well, it was.
They kind of did the death metal thing before it started hitting the U.S. or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Because they had that dude. He plays in standard tuning, which is weird, because like nowadays death metal is all this. Down tune, down to A or whatever the hell it is.
It's so far down now. Yeah, I'm like,
I mean, you slap the string, it's almost about like a bass string. But yeah, he actually, from what I understand, he standard tuning on this. Just has. To me, I like that sound. I like that standard tuning with that distortion and stuff. I like it.
I mean,
I'm corny.
I mean, Metallica and Anthrax, they were all standard tunings, as far as I know, back in the 80s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I believe so. You can double check me on that. But I think most bands stayed in standard tuning except for Motley Crue. Like I said, it was in D. Van Halen's a half step down. There might have been some others that were half step or.
Yeah.
But I know I've heard. I can't think of an example right now, but I've heard bands that were in standard tuning back in the 80s and they had to lower, like they're touring now.
Yeah.
They had to lower down a half step or a whole step just so the singer can hit the stuff again.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And the thing is,
I mean, that's how it is. I'm complaining I can't hit stuff like my 20s, so it's just how it is.
Yeah. It's funny because I actually had a back patch for a jacket of this. Mm-hmm. I went down to my grandma. I said, Grandma, can you sew this on back my jacket? She goes, "You sure?" I went, yeah.
Of course.
So yeah, she ended up sewing this picture
Nice.
on a bag, which I have it up there,
Oh.
but that's covered. One of the boobies is covered.
Oh, okay.
It's covered. It's censored. But whatever the case, hell out.
How's this one not censored? Is this a?
You want to know the funny thing is I bought this through Walmart.
So this was in Walmart.
Well, not in Walmart. Online.
Online.
Yeah.
Okay.
It probably should have been.
Got past the Walmart censors, huh?
Yeah, which is weird, because they sell all the censored CDs or whatever, all that stuff. I'll never understand that, but you turn around, they got Pulp Fiction. I went,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, well, should I or shouldn't I? It's one of them, but there's nothing wrong. I mean, people want to listen to censored stuff. That's fine. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, the PMRC, they tried to censor the albums back then, and it just backfired on them. Hey, there's a sticker on. Now the kid wants it more. Hey, I'm going to buy that. It's got explicit lyrics.
Yeah. I mean, then you have bands like Two Live Crew. That was...
Yeah. No, I always said, rock was always really suggestive. The kind of, double entendres and stuff.
Yeah.
Bon Scott was great at the double entendre stuff. Big Balls, for example. Yeah. But it was real suggestive and then rap, they just come out and say it. They don't care. They don't care. They don't give a...
It was weird because like a lot of bands from the 70s had these really suggestive type covers. Scorpions had it on Virgin Killer.
Yeah.
Which was like...
Yeah.
That's a little bit out there left field. Then who was it?
Didn't love it. What's the Scorpions' big one? Rockin' Like a Hurricane on it.
Oh yeah, had a
suggestive cover, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think Bon Jovi's Slippery with Wet had a suggestive cover and they made him change it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to.
Yeah.
But we'll just go ahead and make it look like, rain hit the
Right, rain hitting a windshield or something. Yeah, hey, there you go.
But yeah, I think Steve Winwood was in the band, their first one. It wasn't Traffic. Wasn't in that band.
Oh gosh,
They had Clapton. Ginger Baker was in the band. Steve Winwood and this other cat. But anyways, the front cover had this girl holding an airplane, no top on. Which, like, of course, that was the 70s, They did a whole bunch of dumb shit.
the houses of the holy. I mean, they covered that as a bunch of kids walking.
Yeah. It's funny because they only used 2 kids for that. And they just posted them all over the place. Yeah.
Did a copy and paste, huh?
But I thought it was, a little crazy.
Yeah.
But that's a good record, too.
Yeah.
Did you ever really get into Zeppelin big time?
There for a little while I did. Haven't for a while. I haven't listened for a while, but okay, I'm gonna turn this down because this is getting ridiculous. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
It's my family messaging back and forth, and yeah, you guys can message, but I'm doing something at the moment. There we go. I think I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. All right, it's silent now. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
All right. Are we talking about Zeppelin?
Yes.
Yeah, there for a while. I got into them. I had all the albums on cassette for a while, and but you haven't really listened to them that much. Past 20 years or so, really. just right here on the radio, and I don't have any of their albums, any vinyl, and the cassettes I have. All my cassettes. I've moved so many times I don't know where anything is. I do have a few. There's a Metallica one I have. It's oh gosh, it was like an EP. I bought it at Street Beat Records.
Yeah. Was it the Creeping Death?
No.
Or Jumping a Fire?
That might be it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I looked on eBay. It's actually worth a little bit of money. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. So I somehow kept this over the years.
It's funny because I still have the cassette, and it still sounds just as good today as it did back in, I think it was around 84. Had a Hit Parader magazine and stuff. And they said, you send us like $5, we'll send you this cassette. I was like, all right. $75. About 3 months later, I got this cassette. Had Possessed on it, Slayer. It's basically like a mixtape how we used to do back then, you know. Everything on it. Q5 band never heard of. They're like a Canadian.
I've heard of them, Q5,
Yeah. You know, I listened to it. I was like, man, that's good. I had Raven on it and all that shit on it. I listened. I was like, oh my God, this is really good. I mean, I listened to the hell out of it back in, and it still sounds so good now, which is weird, you know, from '85.
The cassette though too, because won't they degrade after a while? Or
You would think.
yeah,
And, you know, the cars I had that cassette in, man, that thing should have rotted out years ago.
yeah. I had a lot of cassettes eaten back in the day. And you're pulling it out there, trying not to break it. Taped a few back together actually,
Or you accidentally forget about it being up on the dash. It's just like,
and it's warped. Yeah.
It didn't take much for him. Now, did you listen to a lot of Iron Maiden back in or anything?
Yeah, Power Slave was the main one I latched onto. I listened to the others too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peace of Mind and Number of the Beast. Somewhere in Time. Definitely I bought the cassette of that one too. I don't think I bought Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. That's when I started getting into the heavier.
Yeah.
Right around that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thrash metal stuff. So
Which I could see where Maiden would probably be somewhat of an influence on you, you know, on your playing and stuff back then.
yeah, I guess I could say that too. Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've tried playing. I was like, I suck at guitar. Really, I do. I suck at guitar. But, you know, I like playing. But, you know, I guess that's the joy of playing guitar. It's just playing. Whether you know anything or not.
Yeah. Even if it's just a noodle around, it's still fun. Yeah. It's still fun and trying to figure out stuff, you know, and it's always something to learn.
Yeah. Especially on a guitar.
Oh yeah. My God. Here I am playing this. Let's see how many years I've been playing. 40. I started in '78, so 46 years, right? And I still learn stuff all the time, or I figure stuff out. I'm like, well, that's how that guy did it.
Yeah.
You know. As a matter of fact, I was talking to our other guitarist last night. I think it was. I was talking about Steve Stevens, the beginning of Rebel Yell.
Yeah.
I thought that was two guitars, but no, he's picking at the same time. He's moving his fingers around. I learned it finally. It took a while to get the hang of it.
Pretty tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it was tough. Yeah. Well, we had two guitarists, me and another guy in Shotgun Taxi, and we were playing that song, and we kind of divvied the. You do this part, I'll do this, and it kind of worked out. Yeah. When he left, I'm like, how am I going to do that? And then I watched the video, and I'm like, that's how he's doing it. It's just one guy. You know, of course, it's just Steve Stevens in that band, so
he's a pretty good guitar player.
Yeah, he's very good. Yeah.
That's why a lot of people take for granted that those type of players aren't that good. But they're really phenomenal guitar players.
I always said the guy. There's guys I don't even know their names. The guy from Huey Lewis, that guy was just badass on lead, man. You listen to I Want a New Drug, all that lead work he does on that, just insane. And I to this day I can't tell you his name. I have to look it up. I don't know, but yeah, he's very good. Bunch of underrated guitarists like that. And there's a lot of studio guitarists that don't get credit. You know, they. Yeah.
I mean, what would you say your top five guitar players are?
Top five guitar players? Well, I'd say Van Halen's in there. I can't really pinpoint a number one, I suppose, but
just top five that really put it out there for you.
Yeah, that's big influences. I guess I'd say rhythm wise would probably Malcolm Young. Yeah. And I'd have to throw Angus in there too for lead because I play most of my style's blues. Play like his style. So Hatfield, rhythm wise, Van Halen, of course. Let's see who else. You know what? I could probably lump Paul McCartney, John Lennon, and George Harrison because all the chord work they did. That's so they really they kind of went with their chords and stuff went way out there from what was going on at that time. Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah,
and they use a lot of chords too, didn't they?
Yeah, just oddballs, just stuff that you listen to and you're like, wow, that fits perfect in a song, but what is that? What's that chord? Just weird stuff like that. So I kind of learned some of my different chords and phrases from the Beatles. I mean, because you think McCartney's bass player is actually originally a guitarist, but so you hear him on a bunch of songs that he's actually playing I think he plays the lead on Taxman.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, I think he played the lead on that. You can double check me on all this, but
no,
I think he probably did Helter Skelter too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we were talking about heavy songs earlier. That's that's 68. That's and it still holds up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could probably hang right with the old Blue Cheer song, you think?
I'd say.
Yeah.
I think that was McCartney's answer to, somebody said you can't write a heavy tune or rockin' tune or whatever. Something. I think that's what I don't know.
See, a lot of people
was his answer to it.
Hell, listen to it.
Just watch me.
Yeah. Like their first couple records, it's just rock and roll.
Yeah.
Then they started hitting whatever they were hitting.
Well, yeah, they did that last tour, in 65 or 66, I don't know. And they said, well, we're done with that. Can't take anymore. You can't hear yourself when you're playing. The PAs suck.
Yeah.
And then, of course, delved into just doing studio work. And that's when they came up with their best stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sit there and think about it for a while.
Yeah. Rubber Soul, Revolver, Sgt. Pepper.
I still think Abbey Road's still their best record.
It's the best mixed record of all of them for sure. Yeah. And song wise, I mean, all those songs I just mentioned are all great. All the songs are great on those too. The Beatles had very, very few duds. I don't even know if I call their duds. There's a few songs that I kind of pass over sometimes, but for the most part, their whole catalog's pretty good,
pretty tight.
Yeah,
it's like when I play guitar and stuff. Try to figure. I know a few chords here and there, but my biggest problem is I can't get my fingers right time, or if I do, they're just so jacked up. It's like, oh, ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it takes a lot of practice, Yeah,
and there's some chords that are harder to get. When I do an F chord, I don't bar it. You know how you got the low F, first fret. I do one of these without. I just don't hit the first string, the E string. Because I'm like, it's so, sometimes it's so difficult to get to that position that it's much easier to just do the rest of the strings and just leave that off.
And it sounds fine.
And it sounds perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's my biggest problem. I mean, I had a fella come over, he was showing, he goes, just do 2 chords. Just play like that until you get comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And then throw a 3rd chord in there and do that. That way you get comfortable, your fingers get used to it.
Yeah.
It's muscle memory after a while. It's like, fair enough.
Play, again, AC/DC, Malcolm Young. You think they're not power chords. He's doing a lot of just full out G, full out D.
Yeah.
Really fills that out. That's why people think, oh, AC/DC, that's simple. It's not. Most of the time, it's not as simple as you think. Yeah, some pretty good playing.
Because you got to figure the amount of beat, and he's doing that, doing it at a fast pace too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Beating Around the Bush is a hard song to play. Yeah, it's just a really fast riff, and there's a couple. What's the one off the first album? Can I get next to you? Can I sit next to you, girl? Wow, that's hard to even play. Really, it's just really fast picking.
Yeah.
I tell you what's hard to play is Thunderstruck. The Angus lead.
Yeah.
He's picking the notes. He's not hammering on.
Oh, he's not.
No, he's picking them individually, and he holds that out through the entire song. And I'm like, I can't do it. Again, this is where he just plays all the time, and he's got that build up to where he can go through the entire song picking those. And then it walks down, and I was like, oh man. You can hear that he's picking those notes. He's not hammering on.
You'd think it'd be simpler for him, just
It would be simpler to pick one note, hammer the next one on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be simpler to do that, but it doesn't sound the same. Yeah.
Probably not.
It doesn't. Yeah.
You got to have it.
Yeah. You got to have that, the tick, tick, tick.
Well, Brent, I appreciate you taking the time out to come out here. And,
this is fun,
just talk shop, music, and this and that.
Yeah.
That's all I like to do. I do this all the time at work.
Yeah. I guess I do too. And with my other musician friends I play with, and talk about a lot of different music and styles, and Have you heard this before? Have you heard that? You know,
Yeah.
you know, everybody likes different stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I try to do, you know, throw albums out. Someone's like, oh, never heard of them guys before. You know, like, oh, I'm going to check them out. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, just like this here, you know.
I heard of Celtic Frost, but I've never really listened to them. So if I have heard anything by them, I don't remember.
Because I know, Emperor's Return, not the Dethroned Emperor. Yeah. Because it sounds simple. It goes dun 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 dun. It's that type of beat. It just sounds good.
Yeah.
It's pleasing to my ears when I hear that.
Yeah.
You know, but anyways, appreciate you coming out.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it was a good time.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Be good to each other. Don't be a fool.
And metal, rock out.
Work.